Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, we're continuing on with this mini series on the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, such a cultural icon in the 20th century. He picked up his first guitar at the age of 11, and what we're going to do today is we're going to look a little bit more at his legacy today. So he picked up his first guitar at the age of 11, and even at that early stage, he just had an innate and freakish talent, a bit of a prodigy, and whatever he heard on the radio, he could just play it all by ear. So Elvis never really learnt music, he just kind of knew how to do it. As I said, a cultural and music icon, been cited from a few people, including Leonard Bernstein, the famed American-US composer, wrote the music for West Side Story and a few others, cited Elvis as the greatest cultural force in the 20th century. And John Lennon from the Beatles said nothing affected him like Elvis Presley. So there's some pretty accolades there. Elvis was significant for a few reasons. And one of the main ones was that he wasn't scared to actually break the ice for other expressions, including African American music. And if it wasn't for Elvis, that wouldn't have got anywhere near the airplay that it got in later years. People like Sam Cooke, people like Al Green have all cited Elvis Presley as extremely significant in the world. Of course, there's no shortage of impersonators worldwide from Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley just has a way about him, the way he looks, the way he sings, his costumes, the whole thing. No shortage of impersonators, and probably the most impersonated person of all time, pretty much. As I said yesterday, he had sold 500 million albums, which is only 100 million short of what the Beatles at 600 million. In fact, the Guinness Book of Records have him as the best-selling solo artist of all time. 152 top 40 hits from the Billboard charts. There we go, right there. That's pretty amazing. In fact, Elvis has had the most gold albums, the most platinum albums, and is second in multi-platinum albums. So he's had incredible success. He's received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2018. Of course, that was after his death in 1977. The world just paused at that point. He received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, and he and probably some of his songs have been inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame a few years. The US Postal Service acknowledged Elvis in 1993 with a stamp. Just goes to show how significant he was. And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Country Music Hall of Fame, and the Gospel Music Hall of Fame have all inducted Elvis Presley into their institutions. There's just a little bit more about Elvis's significance. Now, of course, there's so many clips about Elvis on YouTube, and I thought what I'd do is I'd go for these ones today. We do have from this iconic 1973 Aloha from Hawaii concert. This came after a 7-year hiatus from recording and performing, as Elvis was focusing more on his acting career, because he was in a lot of movies, up to 2 movies a year in some instances, so you can't do performing and acting. Something just has to give. And so after 7 years, out came this iconic televised performance of Aloha from Hawaii. So we've got a couple of clips from that concert. We've got Fever, which is just, dripping with sensuality and, iconic Elvis performance and just the whole thing that he was. You Give Me Fever is just an iconic Elvis Presley song. And then when I think about Elvis, certainly from the 1970s, the song Burning Love again. And here you see that iconic white spangled suit that he's got full up with sequins and stars and the whole thing. That's when I think of Elvis Presley, this is the image I think of more than anything else. It's this image right here. And of course, a lot of the world got to see Elvis Presley in this Aloha from Hawaii concert. So it's just an iconic video from my perspective. This is one of his classics right here and his classic look. We then go back a little way to 1958 to his first single, Heartbreak Hotel. And this is just a really cute little, more acoustic, version of this song from Elvis Presley. Yes, this guy can sing. The guy can play the guitar really well. This shows that he was an artist as well as so popular. So we've got that one as well. And I thought, well, not many people can sing this song, but I believe Elvis Presley was one that could, and that is this song, My Way. Also sung by Frank Sinatra, and I think it's been at a couple of funerals, including Bert Newton. I mean, you think about this song and you know, I've laughed and I've lost and regrets I've had a few, but I did it my way. Elvis Presley could certainly say that about himself. He carved out his own niche in the world because he knew that he was different. He knew that he was significant. He knew he could be inspiring, and he did all of that without really having to try too hard. So it seems more than appropriate for Elvis Presley to sing My Way. Quite poignant here. This clip is from 1977. So this is the year Elvis Presley died, and probably one of the last kind of performances that we saw of Elvis. You can see he's looking a little bit tired here, but you know what is not lacking is his appeal and his incredible singing voice. This really shows off his voice really well. This is a very hard song to sing, and Elvis Presley just nails this performance. And again, quite poignant given it was 1977. So the links to those 4 clips are in the description below, and you'll see my last video from Elvis Presley is there as well if you want to recap. And of course, we all know Elvis Presley's home was Graceland, and it's become an American institution. Many people flocked to see what was their idol, and probably still is their idol growing up. He's just one of these guys that paved his own way, charted his own territory, and the world forever changed because of him. We may not have the worldwide influence that Elvis Presley had, and probably will never have again really, but we have influence in our own small parts of the world, and I think that the story for Elvis Presley today is be yourself. The world needs it, and your part of the world certainly needs it. So I trust you've enjoyed this little mini series on Elvis Presley. Well, that's it for today. Next time we're going to go on to the whimsical musings and stylings of Enya. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.